What's up? It's Tom. I hope you had a happy holidays. Let's tackle a handful of Twins topics here, real quick hit style. First off, it's Correa. It's Correa. It's been Correa. It's going to be Correa forever, it feels like. Is this ever going to end? Oh my goodness. Agrees to a 12-year, $315 million deal with the Mets, and now they're concerned about his physical, which of course dried up his Giants deal, was the results of their physical. He has this plate that he got put in 2014, so ages ago, really, and he's never actually had another injury to that leg. You definitely figure if two teams' staffs are showing some concern, there's certainly something to be concerned about. Now, why didn't the Twins have concerns about this when they originally signed Correa and they did their physical? Different situations. It was potentially only a 1-year deal at max. A 3-year deal, of course, it would have been, still injury risk. Let's say Correa got injured and the Twins were on the hook these next 2 seasons for all that money. So I'm not trying to say they didn't have any risk, but it's quite a bit different. I have this headline from John Heyman here that the Mets are still optimistic, it sounds like. Mike Puma of the New York Post said there's about a 55% chance, is the feeler that he got from the team, that they're going to land Correa. Other teams are contacting Boris. Other teams are checking in. I assume the Twins, kind of as we'd heard before, the latest we've heard from the Twins is that they had a chance once the Giants were stepping back to step back in and step up, and they said, we're not increasing our offer, and also, we're interested. We would be doing a very thorough physical at this point as well. That's the Twin spin. I would agree with that. I mean, if anything, you're going to knock down your offer to him at this point. I don't know. Maybe he aggravated that injury in September, which has been suggested. I don't think he would have played through that given his contract status and coming into free agency. Who knows? I don't know. I just want this to end. I just want this to go away. It's been the dominating Twins talking point of the offseason. I'd be happy if they ended up with him still, but I just tell me where he ends at this point, where he lands at this point. Anyway, speaking of shortstop, speaking of the Twins, topic number 2 is Royce Lewis. Dan Hayes of The Athletic had a really nice article on an update from Royce. Highly suggest you checking that out. The Athletic is a great publication, so go ahead and support them. But this was sort of the most newsy thing I wanted to pull out of that article was, for now, though it always could be adjusted later, the Twins are sticking to the expected 12-month recovery for Lewis. It kind of sounded like a lot of the rest of the article that Royce might be ahead of schedule, and again, it says this could always be adjusted, but they're going to stick to that. He had his surgery, I think, on June 21st. It was late June, whatever date it was. So, if you're kind of thinking of when that is going to happen, when Royce is going to be back, stick with that, but who knows? He's got youth on his side. Unfortunately, this is his second knee surgery, so that kind of complicates things. It's a long time. It's still a long time between now and June, so we'll see. Nathan Eovaldi, topic number 3. He signed today with the Rangers, who I guess are going to have like an 8-man rotation or something. But Nathan Eovaldi was really the best starting pitcher left on the market, and the best starting pitcher left on the market by a pretty wide margin. I kind of felt like him and Chris Bassett were sort of the level at which that it really made sense for the Twins to go above for the rotation. They don't really need a lot of depth guys after that. I think they have pretty solid depth, which is unusual for the Twins. Obviously, fingers crossed, somebody knock on wood, do whatever good luck you can. Obviously, injuries could just wipe any team's rotation out. It doesn't take much. But the Twins are sitting in a better position than they usually are, so I don't really think those usual flyer guys that they grab make any sense for them this year. I thought Eovaldi might have made sense. He was sort of one of the worst guys that would make sense, essentially. But he's gone. He's going to the Rangers. He's getting $16 million for the next 2 seasons with a $2 million buyout, and it could max out at $63 million. This is a lot and this is for a guy who's missed a lot of time over his career, but he's been more healthy of late, been a very productive, solid pitcher, has a lot of postseason success. Some of that's out of the bullpen, but still a guy who stepped up in big situations. I think the Twins should have been in on this. I don't know that they were. I don't know how much farther you have to go to beat that. Maybe the Twins would have had to guarantee that $63 million for 3 years. to get him to come here. Who knows? I don't know. But, it would make more sense for the Twins to sign a bad contract than it would to just do nothing. So you're not happy about seeing him come off the board, but it is what it is. He's going to Texas. Let's take a look at the remaining free agent starting pitchers. This is topic number 4. And as you see here, this is from MLB. All of these starting pitchers, what we're seeing them ranked by is their wins above replacement per Fangraphs over the past 2 seasons combined. So you see there again, Eovaldi was the best guy available. Now we're dropping down to Corey Kluber, is basically the new best guy available. Wade Miley also out there. Zach Greinke, Michael Wacha. Again, these are I guess I get if the Twins were to sign one of these guys. Again, you can basically assume there's always going to be a rotation spot open. But I do think they have some interesting young guys who are waiting in the wings that can give you more than a 37-year-old Corey Kluber, hopefully, or a 36-year-old Wade Miley, a 38-year-old Zach Greinke, and Michael Wacha, who's only 30. I mean, I suppose on the flip side, how many innings would you be looking at from a 37-year-old Corey Kluber anyway? It's not as if you're expecting him to make 30 starts for you or anything. But nobody that's going to get anybody excited. That's for sure. So transitioning into, topic 5, what does the projected Twins rotation look like? What are we talking about here? Tyler Mahle, Sonny Gray, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober, Kenta Maeda is how kind of the ideal opening day rotation is looking like, those 5 names. We don't know what to expect from Kenta Maeda. That's going to be a real wild card. And again, health, that's always a question mark. But after that, again, your backup guys, Josh Winder, who had some flashes in his rookie year last year, but if he could improve, maybe we're looking at a little bit of a different guy this year. 7 is Louis Varland, who pitched very well in his brief cameo with the Twins. I think he made a handful of starts and put up some nice numbers. Would have liked to seen some more strikeouts out of him with the Twins, but again, another guy who he's only made a handful of starts, should be getting better. Cole Sands, he's maybe more likely to go the Griffin Jax path of, hey, we gave you a look. We gave you a look as a starter, as a long reliever. Let's just simplify everything. Just have you pitch an inning at a time and see how that is. I could definitely see him going into that role. But if the Twins don't sign any more rotational depth, they're going to want to keep guys as options, keep guys stretched out. So we'll see. He's kind of on the fence. And then Simeon Woods Richardson, I think he could benefit from some more time in the minors. But he's certainly got, he also made his Major League debut. Speaking of which, Ronnie Henriquez also made his Major League debut last year. So this depth, we're not going to be happy if Woods Richardson or Henriquez is making like 20-plus starts or something. But this depth picture is just night and day. It is so much better looking than it was a year ago at this time. So that's a nice thing to keep in mind when we're talking about the Twins. And then Chris Paddock, I put at the bottom. He did have his second Tommy John surgery of his career on May 18th. Speaking of around a year turnaround, you would expect generally about a 12-month recovery for that. But since this is his second injury, all bets are off there. I didn't even put him on the list. We put him at the bottom without a number next to him. He's there. Just don't want to forget about him completely. He factors in here somehow. Jordan Balazovic is another guy. On the 40-man, Brent Hedrick is another guy. So, again, they have depth options. And speaking of both Varland and Henriquez, I just uploaded another highlights video, prospect highlights video for members. So if you are a member, check that out. If you're not a member, $1.99 a month. For a membership at the entry level, and you can cancel it at any time. I'm running a bunch of minor league highlights, prospect highlights in chunks. Probably going to share that at about the start of spring training to everybody on the channel. It'll be a monster of a video. We're already about 25 minutes of highlights in here of those guys. So if you're interested, check that out for sure. Speaking of which, thank you to all of the members. Here are the premium channel members listed here. Hopefully, Carlos Correa will be signed by the next time we talk. Thank you.